Welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I'm your host, Tasha Ray. Drew Comments will be back co hosting with us next week. So it's just me tonight, but I'm in good company with two of our all time faves on the show. Welcome back, good people.
Hello.
And if you will, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Y'all know how this goes. We'll start ladies first.
Oh, wow, so much pressure. Hi, everybody. I am Kari. I live in Atlanta. That's enough information for right now.
Word. Skoob, Brooklyn, we here. But we
Mm.
repping the A today. I mean,
Oh, not the snowman. All right. All right. And that's where Kari happens to be. All right.
That's my
we
favorite.
look, see,
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these questions. So tonight's topic is the dating pool getting smaller? So how dating has changed with age and with time. So our very first question of the night is going to be: are you more selective now or more open minded than you were in previous years? So with who y'all dating, are y'all more closed minded or y'all
yeah,
just
hell yeah.
I'll take this now?
Nah,
I would years ago, but I'll take it now. Like, how are we feeling?
I think. Well, I don't want to. I didn't want to go first. If you want to go first, go ahead.
You go
You did
first.
Oh,
be
you
a
okay? I would say I absolutely say yeah because you get closer to. If you don't have children, you think about that, and I absolutely think about that. Like, yeah, I don't think this would be a 12, 18 years with this person is not going to work. Like, if I want to, because you're as a guy, it's way different. It's like, oh, she's fine. She'll make cute kids, whatever. That was like the bar when you were young. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, okay. So you were shallow then. So you're not as
oh,
shallow.
I think most men are. I think most of us have had that thought as a juvenile. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, nah, this is
Are
she
you
made.
still shallow today though? Like,
No. That's what I just said. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like you think about more like, oh, how would this person be as a parent? Um, like, can I see this person teaching my child stuff,
Mm,
et cetera, et cetera. And just kind of like you think about. I'm literally just applying the parenthood part of it to this whole equation right here or this scenario. I'm sorry.
okay. Kari, what you thinking?
I will apply more of the partnership part. So I would say that yes, I am very selective because I feel like who you're deciding at this age, we're not really looking for boyfriend and girlfriends, right? We're looking for companionship like forever or for a very long time. So I think that I've gotten a little loose as far as, would I date a man that, is a divorcee and things like that? Because before that was never something that I felt like I wanted to do, or maybe date a man with kids and things like that. But I think as I am, getting older, it's like, okay, well, I can consider that, but let me consider who he is as a person. Is he a provider? Is he a protector? How does he treat me? Does he have things about him that, I would want to see in my child? Do I think he'd be a good father? I think more so those are the things that I'm like paying attention to more so than anything. And there's been times when I've seen people and I would like, I would never date this person because I don't like the way that he interacts with the children that he has, or I would never date this person because whenever I speak with this person, they give me a little bit of anxiety, so he can't talk soft to me. So I pay attention to a lot of those things, little things that I'm like, would I be able to deal with this in the future, or is this something that I want to deal with? Is it something that I feel like I would want to bring a daughter in and have him be the father, or even a son? Like, those are things that I am paying attention to.
Yeah, for sure. One thing is I think too is I have this like saying like that I kind of like play it back in my head or whatever. I'm like, oh well, would the house burn down if I'm not around? You know what I mean? Like, so basically saying like you can do whatever if I happen to not be there, if I have to go away for work,
Mhm.
and say we're filming somewhere for a while on location, like I need to know that everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to just leave and then, like, for example, one of my nephews went and stayed with his dad for a little bit, and I always help him with his homework, all types of stuff like that. And when I knew he was going to visit his dad, I knew something said like, "Let me see your homework," and it was all wrong. Like it was. So that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that. It's like no, man. I now you apply that to your own child. And it's like, yeah, I need to know that I don't have a fear of my son failing out of school. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, so yeah, you think of a lot of different things factor in, now that they would not have factored in before.
I think both of y'all kind of led us into the next question. So, what role does past relationship baggage, like divorces, kids, financial struggles, play in dating after 35? Because yeah, these divorces be. I think that's the biggest, most common thing, because a lot of things come out of that. The kids, the financial struggles, a lot of that is tied to these marriages that didn't work out. And
Mm.
then, yeah, and it comes with emotional baggage too, all kinds of baggage, heavy ones too. So yeah, that's another thing of those.
Yes.
I think divorce, like the thought of someone being previously married, I always kind of like I've met women that say like, oh yeah, I've been married before, but it never like sticks. Like I don't ever, like Tasha, if I met you and you said you were married before, like I wouldn't, for some reason I would never remember that. I don't know why. Like I just like
But she don't have
it's
no
like a
souvenirs. She ain't got no kids.
maybe, yeah, maybe that's what it
Oh
is.
yeah, that's fact, not souvenirs.
No, that's true. Souvenirs is hilarious though.
Facts.
Um, I
That's
do think of stuff like that because I think if a woman already has like, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but if she already has like two kids, I'm assuming like she's probably done. So that to me is then it's like, oh yeah, yeah, we probably not gonna work because I don't have any yet. So
yeah.
I feel like you're done. So and then even trying to convince her to do anything, it's just like, how many times are we talking? If I have zero, like I want at least to know that two could happen.
Yeah.
You're probably not gonna add two more to your situation.
Yeah, because what's the age gap? Yeah, that's the thing. Same boat. Yeah.
Right. Like you might have your kids might be in middle school or something, and then you're like, you know,
Ooh, you know how old we are? High school. These jokers is
oh
grown.
well, hey,
Like,
whatever. Either
age gaps
either
is like, wow, I haven't even started. My friends got kids who got kids. Like
that's actually crazy.
it's yeah, it's crazy. Girl, you look like you're thinking hard.
Well, I have something that's probably going to be a little jarring.
Well, no, that's what we're here for.
I mean, I know. Yeah. So I had this thought that, people who have never been married, don't have kids, you're healed, you're ultimately settling whenever you are dating or getting in relationships with people who are been married before or they have kids. And I kind of mean this in the best way, in a sense of like a divorced person, if they're not healed, that's settled. I mean, the other person or whoever you're with, if they are already settled and they're, wanting to get married, they're excited about marriage. Meanwhile, you may be, like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this again. But so it's kind of like, now you're wasting that person's time, and that's kind of a downgrade as well. So I don't and then also, if a person has kids already, unless the person that you're dating doesn't want to have kids, then just to your point, Skoob, like you're like, dang, well, this person already got 3 kids, already got 2 kids, like, are they willing to have some more? Like, that is ultimately a downgrade, and you're ultimately settling for that person. So it's like, ideally you would want to be with somebody that you're aligned with, right? And I'm not saying that a divorcee or a person with kids can't be aligned with somebody who hasn't had kids. Y'all could be on the same page, but I think for the most part, you typically find like people who are divorced and they're just like, oh, I need to heal. I'm not ready yet. And, I don't want to make the same mistake, twice. And it's like, dang, we don't want to make the same mistake once. We've been smart thus far and haven't made, bad decisions. And it's just kind of like, ultimately you could be missing out on your person because you're still scorned and you haven't quite healed. So, I kind of find that a little challenging. And I always go back to even my family dynamic. Like, my dad was married to my mom for 15 years and then they got a divorce. And then he's now been remarried to my stepmother for over like 20 years. And I feel like that's the perfect person. And my dad didn't waste no time. That he said, I am not going to be alone. And I appreciate that. And it's just like
Most guys,
sometimes
yeah,
you
most
will you just need to jump out there. And it's just like, but if you're sitting there so scared, you know what I mean? And it's just like the other person is just like, oh, I would love this person. And this, they would actually probably be the greatest person for you, but you will not see your blessing and not be able to appreciate the blessing that's right in front of you if you're not open to receive it.
that's facts.
Let the church say amen.
Amen, brother Scoob. Amen. So, what's your thoughts, Scoob?
On what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I agree because you don't want to go through anybody else's trauma. Like, why do I have to pay for what Tariq did to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I'm not Tariq? You know what I'm saying? Why I got to deal with that? So no, you absolutely think about that, and it's just I think just there are other things I guess that again like with maturity comes wisdom, and there are certain things that you are not interested in now that you were interested in before. Like you were talking about the shallow aspect of it. Yeah, for guys, we had like a small checklist and what was good and what we could tolerate and what we couldn't. So yeah, it's way different. It's way different. You're just looking at a whole list of you're looking at the entirety of the person rather than just like, surface level whatever.
Agreed. Hmm. All right. So, next question is, have you lowered your standards out of fear of being alone?
Absolutely not.
Oh, your judgment is just on all the time.
Absolutely not. No
Shit,
way.
I did this a couple months ago, and then once I got into it, I was like, "Ooh, this is why I should not have done that. I should have just listened with my first mind." Yeah.
That saying, you get what you pay for. I think that applies across the board. Like, nah, I'm not I would never do that. I just wouldn't.
So you never went after somebody or entertained somebody that you typically would not entertain because maybe something else was just like,
Nah.
well, maybe, or you're in a different space where you've been alone for a long time, you've been single for a long time, and you're like, well, maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe she
Mm-hmm.
seems like a cool person. Maybe she's not 1000% my type, but she's
Uh,
knocking off most of the checks on the list. Like maybe I need to step outside my comfort zone and see what's this. Maybe she might give me something different than I've been getting, and it might be what I need. You never felt like that?
nope. Nope.
Fascinating.
And and maybe it's ego playing here. Maybe that's maybe it's ego playing. But like girls, women, they've always kind of like been around. So I'm not. I wouldn't change. Like I wouldn't switch up. Like no. Like there's still like you want what you want, and you don't settle until you have what you're compatible with somebody or whatever. I'm not quick to jump in relationships though either. So
Yeah.
yeah, it gotta be like y'all say, it gotta make sense. You know how you go into a store and they say if you don't love it in the store, you're not gonna like it at home. So we gotta go on. We gotta see if it fits. You know what I'm saying? Like before we jump into some serious stuff. But nah, I'm not. You definitely not getting me to to do that. I'm not gonna do it.
All right. You sticking them standards. All right. All right. Mm,
I
mm,
mean, there's you make. I guess the compromises might be how you approach the relationship. Maybe like okay, I'll be maybe dating with intention or um, kind of not being quick to pull out of a situation where you would have been before, like this first sign of a red flag or whatever. You're like, you know what I mean? Maybe
Mhm.
that's the adjustment that you make. But in terms of just overall, just dating somebody that I would never typically date, then nah, it still has to be like I'm big on certain things. Like ambition is one thing. Like somebody that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that just lacks kind of like stuff like that. Then I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so on the back side of that question, do you have a fear that you will never find someone that checks all those boxes and that you will be alone?
Nah, I don't. But also I don't. It's not. I don't. I want to be clear. I don't walk around with like 10 boxes and all that, and they have to check off every one of those. Nah, I wouldn't. I'm not saying that. It's just I have to. It just got to make sense. We got to fit. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to fit. And you, I think you. Nah, I don't know. Does this all sound bad? What I'm saying? Does it sound terrible?
No, I mean, listen, your truth is your truth. That's your experience.
I'm just. I mean, I'm just saying. Like
You
it's.
stronger than me.
You said what?
I say you stronger than me. I done settled a few times. I done rolled back them
Right.
standards like maybe it's me. Let me try something different. It'll never work
Yeah.
out, but I've done it.
I think that's I think it's tougher for you guys because we're not the easiest I think to deal with. You know, when it comes to dating and stuff like that. I don't think
Come on,
like we don't
accountability.
what you say? What you say?
I said,
I
come
don't
on,
know. Oh
accountability.
yeah. I feel like nah, like being real, just being real. Like I feel like like as men, we have like
Accountability.
well, hold on now, because y'all are terrible with that too.
What?
Well, women, yes. What? Women are not are good with accountability?
I don't
Come
know.
on.
You got some interesting taste, so that might be the ones you picking, brother.
Nah. No, but anyway, I think it's tougher for y'all because there are a lot more hurdles, I think, in your way for like so like you guys as you get older, dating younger is not the way for you to go. And then dating older may not be the way for you to go depending on how old you are. And you know what I'm saying, what that range is or whatever. For men, it's just like dudes are just all right, well, whatever, I'll just date somebody younger. Like it's different for us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then it's just like I don't know. I just feel like it's you guys have it tougher. I will say you guys have it harder than we do.
Mm. What you think, Car? Have you lowered your standards
I
out of fear
I
of
was
being
going to
alone?
say that it's the now I've lowered my standards. Now the fear of being alone, no, that's because I lowered my standards because this person chased me for a very long time, and I was like, dang, let me see what this person is actually talking about,
Mhm.
and they presented themselves in such a way that I was like, okay, maybe, let me see, and I have since learned, don't do that.
Okay.
Always date your type because I would rather get played by somebody that's my type versus getting played by somebody that's absolutely not my type. And I'm like, I shouldn't give your
There you
butt
go.
a
There you
chance
go.
anyway. So it's always date within your range and do not lower your standards. Don't date anybody you're not attracted to. And what was the other question that you asked?
Oh, I was saying, like on the back end of
I think
his,
it
like,
was
did he have a
something
fear of
about,
like being alone if he doesn't find the person that checks all those boxes?
and I would say I was still, I don't think anybody's really checking 100% of anybody's
Right.
boxes these days.
Right.
I always say, what are your non-negotiables, right?
Right.
Like, what is something when you're 80 years old, what's going to matter to you the most? And if does this person, does their values align with yours? I think that those are the things that are most important, not like, oh, does he drive this or does he have the, materialistic things that really don't matter. I'm looking at what's in the inside, not really on the outside, and we gonna move on from there.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, because I feel like that's basically how we're dating now because we're dating with intention, right? Scoob, I don't know, but car,
Nah,
we dating with intention,
I mean,
You
I
there, right?
personally, I just had a relationship, so I'm not right now. I'm
Was
just
this
kind of
the birthday girl? Your
yeah,
birthday?
yeah. Don't, yeah.
I mean, you already told the story in the podcast, brother.
Not
Yeah,
too
I told
much.
But
her. No,
Not too
I
much.
ain't told her here.
that was a terrible decision. Just so you know.
Wait, I
But
told it on the pod.
yes, you told it on the podcast.
I thought I told it. No, I told it in your living room.
No, you told it on the podcast.
What did
Trust
I
me.
say again? What did I say?
You said it was your birthday,
No, not my birthday.
and
Her
well,
birthday.
the story that you told was it was your birthday,
Mm.
and y'all went out for
Oh
dinner.
no! That's a totally
He
different
didn't
person.
pay for it, and then
Oh
at the
yeah,
end,
no,
y'all
no,
went to the
no, no.
bar.
That's
You thought
totally.
she was gonna pay for that, and she was like, "No,
Yeah.
he gonna pay for it."
Oh yeah, no. That's a totally different person. That's definitely not her. We that
Okay,
was it.
I'm
That was
like,
right.
well, if we going off of that, ooh,
You said
mm,
what?
so if we going off of that, like I got to worried about your picking, your picker might be broken.
Oh no! I told you would. That's a whole other situation. We'll get into that after the
Oh,
show.
I thought that was the same
Hell
person.
no! Hell
Bad,
no! No, absolutely not.
bad.
No. But no. But you were saying no. I'm saying I just came out of a relationship, so right now I'm not really. I'm very like hyper focused on my work right now. So I mean, dating is cool, but it's not. It's hard for me to devote like 100% to another person right now while I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I'm doing like
Mhm.
really like serious stuff work wise. So for
But I
me, it's
but I guess my question is like even when you get to a point where you're focused back on relationships again and you're
mm,
dating with intention, like you're taking it seriously. You're not dating, you're not being a shallow dater. You know what I mean?
mm,
You're for real about it. And if you're not having any luck, and throw myself in it, if I'm not having any luck with this dating experience and I know I've been taking it seriously, I know I've been, showing up as my best self, all those things for this number of years and it hasn't happened and I haven't found anyone that I feel like fits, it makes sense, I feel safe, I feel protected. If I haven't found that person, is there hope that something will magically change? Like,
mm,
because I feel like I do think, I don't want to say it's a fear because, but I do feel like it's a real reality. And I think that's a reality that I personally have accepted and I'm okay with. But I do think it used to be a fear, but now I have kind of accepted it as this could be a real viable choice. And right now it is my top choice. So I
yeah.
wonder how I feel about that.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, no, I understand. I don't have anything to add to that. I understand what you're saying.
Kari, what you think?
No, I always think about that because I mean, I feel like my purpose is to be a mom, be a nurturer, and that's something that I really want. So it's like as I'm not, coming across men that I feel like would be, good to co-parent with, um, it's a concern.
Yeah, and I think that's another factor that the difference with, men and women. Like we do have a biological clock, and if that is something that you want to do, you do want to be a mom, like there is a cutoff as opposed to a man, you can push that out at 80, be pushing out kids
Yeah,
out
but
to.
that's you don't want to do that either though.
I mean,
You
they
don't-
doing it. What's that actor that just had a baby? He
yeah.
was like,
So you
they
know
doing
it's
it. Shoot.
what's funny is like where the conversation we're having right now, some of the things that you guys are talking about, or that you're bringing up. Um, a friend of mine was on Pop the Balloon.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she was on Pop the Balloon, and she's like, let people know. So I watched the episode, and
Mhm.
one of the dudes that came on there was 47. I'm like, and he looked every bit of 47. I was like, oh yeah, nah, this is. But by the time he got on the show, it was like towards the tail end. I think he was one of the last guys to go down the line or whatever. And just hearing all of the comments from the women prior to him jumping up there, as soon as he said how old he was, I knew it was a rap film. Because one of the women, with a couple of women, they're like, like 35 to, well, 33 to 36, I think was the range. Um, and they wanted something, none of them had kids. And as soon as he was she got to the end, and this dude was like, yeah, he already had like two grown kids. He wasn't gonna go down the line anymore. And the last like three balloons popped right away. So it's just, yeah. It was just listening to kind of like just the dialogue and all that. One woman on there, she was a little confusing though. She
How
was
old
30.
is
He was 40. The guy was 47. But the this one particular guy, it was multiple dudes though. Yeah, the women were the poppers is what I'm saying. Like the women were the one. He was the dater. So he's going down the line, and once but it was just interesting seeing that because I've actually never watched a full episode like start to finish.
Mm-hmm. It's
But
interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is. Speaking of that, it's on right now actually, like the live version of it.
Oh gosh, the live.
It's terrible.
Oof.
I don't know if you've seen it on there, but it's awful. It's awful.
Real bad. But
it's like it's just related to kind of like what you're talking about. I'm thinking about that as you as you're going.
Okay, so the next question is, how has your patience or tolerance for certain behaviors changed?
I think you get a shorter tolerance for certain things over time. I think so. Well, I mean, y'all agree with that or not? I do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I feel like as soon as you see something, you're like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
Because you see, and you see it so much faster too. It's just like we don't need to do this.
Yeah.
We ain't got to do this.
Yeah, because you pay attention to how many times you gotta repeat yourself. It's like, all right,
out of here.
Yeah, like it's that, and just man, you learn what you want and don't want after different relationship experiences and stuff. You're like, yeah, nah, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like I've been fighting for my life. I've been on like both sides of the spectrum, right? In one aspect, I have given the most grace and I've been the most patient I've ever been in my whole entire life. But I do know who I am. And I do know that it comes a time where it's like, I keep playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna introduce you to who I was. And it's that person that's just like, I don't have time to play. Like you can go play and do whatever you want to do. And then you're never gonna have access to me. Like the amount of but I even remember being out, and it was a guy that I had dated previously, and I do not deal with him. And it's just to the point where, I mean, he came up to me, he was like, oh, I had to come speak to you. I said, no, you didn't. You didn't have to do that. And then I turned around and I started drinking my drink because please don't ever talk to me ever in life again. Like it's all love, wish you well, but there's nothing. Like I am cold-blooded when I do not fool with you no more. And it's just like,
What's your sign? I'm curious.
What do you think I am?
I don't know. I'm curious though.
I'm a Leo. So you're a Leo?
I'm a Sag. So we fire. Yeah. When as soon as you said you cold-blooded with, I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar.
No, all of us are fire signs. That's interesting.
Right. Yeah, because I'm definitely, as soon as I get something, I'm like, all right,
Okay. Listen, don't give me a reason not to need to know you anymore, because I'm gonna take it. Jesus.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, my pops used to say, he was like, yo, he used to think I was crazy because if somebody I didn't mess with, like they're like dead to me almost. Like he had like my sister's old boyfriend, or she had like a dude I wasn't really messing with. I didn't really like him. And we were in the living room one time and he's like talking like to me. And I never reacted to anything he was saying. Like he's sitting across the room. I never reacted, never broke like me watching TV or whatever it was. And my dad's like, yo, you are a psychopath. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, he was talking to you. I was like, okay, I heard him. And he was like, you didn't even flinch. I'm like, correct. I was like, I have absolutely nothing to say to him.
Don't
Yeah.
exist.
When the door
Yeah,
was closed, it was closed. What are we talking about?
It's like it's a
right.
ghost. It's a ghost talking to you. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
protect my peace.
yeah. Like once, listen, man. I'm like, yeah. I'm not a person. I don't have too many like fallouts or anything like that. But when I do, I do. I commit
correct.
to that. I'm committed to that. Like it's like, yeah, this is a wrap. I'm done with this
Yeah,
You're
particular
dead, you're
situation.
done.
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
because I have a barometer for like what I'll tolerate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like once you get to, especially like your homeboys, it's more so like your male friends. Like once you cross a line of disrespect, it's like, yeah, there's no, you can't come back. And even if you do, I'm not gonna look at you the same way. Like our friendship is not gonna be what it was.
yeah.
So, and if I can't, and for me, I'm always like, if it can't be what it used to be, I just rather not even, rather not even have it. Then I gotta adjust and be fake and all that, and I can't be fake.
Mm,
Valid.
agreed. Some people got to see it multiple times. All I need to see it is one time. Please,
Yeah.
somebody. All right, next question. Is the dating pool smaller or just different as you get older? What's y'all's experience
See,
been?
this goes back to what I was saying before. Like, I feel like
Oh,
like y'all's situation is a little different. Like, you guys, yeah, like it's just different, man. Because like I feel bad for y'all because it's like, what do you do? It's like, I don't mean it like that. I'm saying like, because she looked at me. When I say I feel bad for y'all, because it's like you're
Not too
saying, like you
much.
guys. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it that way. I don't want it to sound crazy. What I mean
Mhm.
is, I feel
Keep it
bad for y'all
cute.
because, like you said, you've had to jostle with like adjusting your standards or whatever it was, and you're like, okay, I'll date down on this. In your mind, you're like, okay, I'll date down with this guy, or like you're dating older, you're dating younger, whatever have you. Just all of that. Like it's a lot of different things. I feel like you guys like have to kind of like juggle. Where it's I don't think it's the same for us. It's definitely less quality guys for you than there are women for us.
I would
If that,
totally agree with that. Jesus Christ.
there we go.
And
No,
they're
I'm,
everywhere. The women, the good women are everywhere. I'm like, where are the good men? Are you hiding under rocks? I don't know.
Well, I
yeah.
will kind of disagree slightly. I feel
Okay.
like there is a plethora. There's a quantity of
Of good
men.
men
I wouldn't say
that are
good.
straight
So
and
that's
black.
what I'm saying. So your dating pool gets smaller as your standards. You get older and it's like again, we got things we be like, I'm not dealing with that, I'm not dealing with that, I'm not dealing with that. So then that makes the pool very small. And I do feel like yes, there is a lot of women, right? But I don't think there's a lot of quality women. So
Yeah,
I
no,
feel like
I agree.
we're all fighting the same fight. Like when
Yeah.
you say like, oh, there's a lot of women, there's probably a lot of beautiful women. You're probably looking from a beautiful standpoint. Like, oh, this person looks good. I see people that look good all the time, but are they good for me? No.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
that's
That's
what
fair.
makes your pool smaller is your standards and what's on your list of non-negotiables.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Maybe we are fighting the same fight then. I'll agree.
Thank you. We are.
I think, but yeah, you're right. It depends on where you're approaching it from. You're right. Because
Mhm.
there are lots of attractive people, like,
I'll
whether
go
you're
down to my lobby right now.
right, yeah, right,
Right now. Go to the gym right now.
right, right. You walk down the block out in anywhere in New York. It's like
4 days.
yeah, yeah, for sure. No, you're right. You're right.
Mhm, mhm.
Listen, take me with you, card, because I don't know
Girl,
what
come
you're
down
doing.
here. They
Tasha's been
outside.
1 foot out
Well, I
of
don't.
New York
Well, you know
forever.
how I feel about Atlanta, so let me not even play like that.
She used to live here.
I do not play with Atlanta. I do not play with Atlanta. I'm still recovering from Atlanta almost 20 years
Girl,
a while ago, and I'm
come
still.
back.
Oh, I can never. Ooh.
You just need
But
to
I'm
come
just
back.
as equally traumatized with New York, so I mean, that's all the same. You know,
Exactly.
it's all the same. Different levels. I think the only pleasant dating climate that I experienced was probably in the South. It was probably not well, Georgia's in the South, but North Carolina. Because I feel like
Mhm.
even though they're both in the South, I feel like Atlanta and anywhere in North Carolina is still different.
I agree.
Differentness.
I always say if I move back home, because I'm originally from North Carolina, if I move back home, I'd have been married, kids, everything. I feel like even if I go back right now, I probably will find a husband like that. Like I feel like they are
I think it's
they're
easier.
they're, they're serious. I think
Yeah, yeah.
they're not playing games, and they recognize a good woman. It's just kind of they're like, yeah, she's good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And probably not as many options too, because I do think that's a thing. And it's a smaller, these smaller town,
That's
you
true.
know,
And not
everybody
too
knows
many bad.
everybody.
They're good homemakers, but I don't think it's a lot of bad. I not too much on North Carolina. It's beautiful. Hello, me and you both. NC bread, okay? Hello.
Amen.
But to your point, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah,
Mm.
I couldn't do. I couldn't. I don't think I could be in a red state and do anything. I couldn't. I and that has everything to do with the kid factor and all that other stuff. Like I just couldn't be. I just
I mean,
couldn't
the
do it.
major cities aren't red though. You got to
No,
understand
I
North
know
Carolina
they aren't. They aren't. But the
country
governing
as
laws.
stuff, so that's where
Yeah,
all that red
yeah,
come
like,
from. Those
I'm,
low rural population, but the
yeah,
cities are
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, like to us, Georgia is just Atlanta. Like it isn't. We're just like
North
Atlanta.
Carolina is just Charlotte.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're not looking at, anything else. However, the rest of the state, you know what I'm saying? Like New York is you're only thinking of the city. It's kind of the same thing. Um,
Yeah.
but it's the population in the city is just that's just
Yeah.
what that's all it
Yeah.
really. I mean, it's just so overwhelming that it makes the state blue. But you do got sketchy people in Staten Island, Long Island, Buffalo, all
They
that.
did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
But
facts.
it's just overwhelmingly liberal and yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard that. It was just a noise. But no, I just don't because a friend of mine, um, they were saying how like they missed a day on their like electric bill and the electric got cut off. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, North Carolina.
yeah, no, she's been
Well,
just
you can't pay nothing late.
right. Like I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like,
They
where's
said
the
rate
rest
is
of
doing the first is doing it first.
yeah, like where are the rest of the notices? Like, hey, this is your last note. Like, where how does that work? And I feel like someone said
Look around and find out.
Gotta be
yeah,
quiet.
like somebody said in California, they were like, yo, they said the one issue is it's very easy to be homeless out there. I'm like,
Mm,
why would you want to live here? Like that just sounds crazy. And in New York, it's totally opposite. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of different things. Like you want to be somewhere where you're comfortable with the laws and just the atmosphere, the environment, all that stuff. Like you
well,
want to
that's
be cool
fair.
with that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
For me personally, when it comes to kids, like I want to make sure my kid is actually being taught the right way. Like I don't like this guy in the office right now. All they doing is playing and removing our history and all other stuff. I don't want you to like you. I don't want my son going to school and he's being taught like the KKK was like a friend group or a group chat. You feel what I'm saying? Like no, bro. Like I don't need to just stuff like that because you're already raising
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
and you have to you go to work all day. Granted, yes, you want to make sure you're being a parent and knowing what they're learning in school and all that, but now you're literally going through and teaching everything that they were supposed to learn in school the right way. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's just like to me, I don't want to have to do double and triple the work already.
That's why you pay for private schools and you pick the schools that had, and you know the curriculum that your children are going to be used. And you would only know that if you are at a certain level in your life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think that's something that we would know and appreciate in our 20s. We'll probably send our kids to public school. Now, I'm not sending my child to no public school. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, y'all. So, next question. Let's see. Do you think society judges singles in their 30s and 40s unfairly? I feel like I'm
Um
getting judged all the time. That's like, ooh, especially by family. Like, you don't want to get married, you want to have a baby, of course. But I don't want to get married to no fool, and I don't want to just be having a baby just to say I got a baby. Like, you know. still want to try to do it right. Maybe. I
Mhm.
don't know. Mm-hmm.
I think the 30s part of it, it's like I think that's kind of natural because I think when all of us were turning 30, I don't know, some people are different, but I know when each of us were turning 30, you're like, it's like, oh my God, I'm about to be 30. You know what I mean? So it's like, but then you realize it's not that old. And like my father, he had me when he was a teenager, late teenager. So to me, it's like as a kid, I think it's just natural. You automatically think your parent is old just because they're your mom or dad. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
mom or dad, you're old because But in reality, me and this dude would race outside, and this nigga would beat me in a race, and I'm like, how? And I found out he's like 26. Like, so it's like it's just I'm confused as to like you're not supposed to still be athletic. You're not supposed to be able to do certain things. So I think yeah, we have a misconstrued version of whatever uh this age is supposed to look like. What you know what I mean? Like, and it's just not and when you become 30, you're like, oh yeah, this is not that bad. Like, but when you're 21, 22, and somebody tells you they're 30, you're absolutely like, nigga, no, like what? That sounds old as hell.
Your
So
auntie
yeah, yeah, like it's and it's even worse now because I see kids like on Twitter and stuff. They did like a somebody did. I don't know if y'all saw it, but
the
they
auntie, the numbers,
yeah,
with
yeah. The
the age
range
range.
was so like the range was crazy. I'm like, hold up, Auntie at 28 is wild. Like, and
Right.
it was just, but yeah, it was just like the breakdowns. Now the 40s, I don't know, but 30s, yeah, I can definitely talk about
Mm.
Well, I'll say this. I think that we are not our parents, age and that whole era, right? So everything looks different. So even like the Golden Girls and how baby they, yeah, because I'm
Right.
like, because I know I always get
Right.
it's so funny because people never believe I am the age that I am, which I'm 39. I'm like, okay, but I feel like I could pull I the young
that.
boys on my body, heavy,
Mm-hmm.
20 something. And I'm like, okay. But I feel like the way that, the 40-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, are taking care of themselves, I feel like it's all in how you are moving. I don't think that it's a little bit of judgment, I would say, because I think people think like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be, married with kids by now. But it's just like, now I'm being a little bit more cautious, right? Because these days, I'd rather do it right. And I think a lot of times people want to have weddings, but they don't want a marriage, right? I want a marriage. I don't want to
Yeah,
I just don't want to have a
yeah,
wedding. I don't want to just dress up.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
I think now we're taking a little bit more time, or we should be taking a little bit more time to figure out the whole marriage aspect. Is this a person that I want to be with? And sometimes that takes a little longer. It's not going to happen maybe in your early 30s because maybe you're grinding. Like I feel like my 30s, 20s, 30s, right now I'm just now being able to like coast. You see what I'm saying? And it's like I wouldn't even want to have brought a child or even been in a whole marriage or something with how chaotic my career was going.
Yeah, same,
So
same.
I think it's just kind of like now that I'm in a good space, I feel like I I'm still healthy. I feel like I'm healthy. I look good. I feel good. And I think we should just go from there. I don't feel like anybody should judge anybody. I think you shouldn't judge anybody because they're still, single, but you would still judge me if I had a man and I had 5 kids, or if I didn't have a man and had 5 kids. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So at the end
Mhm.
of the day, please yourself.
Absolutely. I think what I've learned with age is because when I was coming up, all of my aunts and uncles, except for one, were married. And I had one aunt who I totally understand her in a different way as an adult than I did as a kid because, she never married, even to this day, she never married, never had kids. And now that I'm in that space, I'm like, I totally get it. Like,
You can do
and I
that by
and
yourself.
I feel like I feel like I appreciate it too because I'm seeing it happen more and more, and not always like it's by choice, not always by force. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm actively choosing to be in the space that I'm in right now because
Mhm.
I'm just at peace. You know what I mean? It's just dating is so stressful. And I can't. I can't, you know. So I think I appreciate that it's being normalized, that you don't have to be married. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to do all these things. And you can still live a full, happy life
Right.
without attaching yourself to someone else or having someone else give your life meaning. You know what I mean? And I will say that I do appreciate that, the kids coming behind us do get to see that there is another way and you can still have a happy, full life. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
that's my little take on it.
Yeah, and it's just honestly, what people like if you're only going to define yourself from marriage or kids, even though that's something that I desire to do, if that's not in God's plan, then that's not in God's plan. And at the end of the day, I'm perfectly fine, in the space that I'm in. I know that, if I want to go out there and date, I can date young, I could date old, I could date anything I want. So it's like until I am probably walking with a cane or old or something like that, that's when everything will stop for me. But I feel like right now, baby, she's up.
Right.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna move into the next segment. So the next segment is called Red Flag, Deal Breaker, or No Big Deal. So I'm going to read you out scenarios, and you just let me know if this is a red flag for you, a deal breaker, or no big deal, and you'll roll with it. All right. So the first scenario is they've never been married, have no kids, and are over 45, but give no real reason why. Is that a red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal?
Are you talking about for dating, like us dating?
Yep.
Nah, I probably wouldn't date them. Not because of like only the age part.
What if you're at that age too and same situation?
Oh, what if I'm 45 too?
Yeah, like what if it's like age, there's within your range.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. I probably again. I mean, I would hope I would have kids by the time I'm 45. But
You better
yeah,
get to work, brother.
I don't. I don't know.
All right, so that's a deal breaker for you.
Probably yeah.
Kari, what say you?
I would say a red flag because I just say just because you're at that age and you don't have kids or anything like that, it's like maybe the universe, God designed it that way.
Right.
But the red flag for me is you don't have kind of like a reason why, because
Nation.
I would want to say, maybe you were in the military or something, or you did a lot of traveling, or I
Hmm.
don't know, maybe you went to space. I don't know. But you had to have done something to the point where,
Yeah, sir. And
because
why
it's
are
like,
you not forthcoming with that?
yeah, I would be able to give you an answer. Like maybe I was in a relationship that went nowhere for 7 years. So now, hey, I'm 45, I'm single. I thought we were going to get married. I thought we were going to have kids, and it didn't work out that way. So here I am.
Right. I actually attempted to date somebody like maybe early this year, and it was literally a very similar scenario. Maybe he was 46 or something, like 46, 47, no kids. And whenever I would try to bring up the topic or ask him like where he stands, how he feels about it, or why he never had any, because his desire was kind of like he could go either way. Like he would be happy if he had him, he would be okay if he didn't. So I'm like, okay, so why didn't you, if you were in these long extended relationships, how come that never happened? And he was just like, no explanation. Like,
He
um,
probably had a low sperm
okay.
count.
But I'm like, that's so weird. Like, how does somebody get to know you if you're not willing to be vulnerable to some extent and tell people how you got to where you are? How else am I going to get to know you if you don't tell me? I can learn you from what I see, but you still have to tell me about you. I don't expect you to just look at me and figure me out, you know?
That's when you grab the crayons and you start coloring for him since he wants to be black and white. So what I did from what you just said was he got low sperm count and he was ashamed. So he didn't want to tell you that.
I mean, but the crazy part is because we had the conversation. I was like, I'm very much the same way. Like, I don't, even if I find the person, I don't need to have kids. So, I mean, so it wouldn't be a deal breaker if he didn't want to have them. So I don't know. I just thought that was strange, but I digress. Okay. Next scenario is they say they're set in their ways and unwilling to compromise on daily routines. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal.
Deal breaker.
Mm.
I don't like my whole thing is like for an example, me and my friend, we had this conversation today. She said she went on a date on Tuesday, and the first thing, she mentioned to the guy, she loves flowers, and she was just like, "Oh, you didn't bring me any flowers." He was just like, "What did you bring me?" I was like, "Ooh, sassy."
That's it.
And then he was just like, "Well, I don't like to buy flowers, and I could buy you a plant because flowers will die and things like that." And it's just like I said, "Ooh, girl," it was just giving me anxiety as he was talking, because it's just like he's not willing to change. And it's like, how are you going to come to a woman being all aggressive and stuff? It's like, baby, first of all, talk to me nice. Like, lower your tone, talk to me nice. I'm a woman. I'm in my soft era. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, girl, yeah, you should have blocked him, because it's like, if you went on her social media and saw like how she even like her whole aura aesthetic, like she wears nice things, she's a well-kept woman and she loves flowers. She's unapologetic about that. So if you saw that, decided to take her on a date, and still decided that, oh, I'm not gonna, I feel like now you're trying to humble me in a weird way. I
Literally.
don't
How you gonna
need
tell me I can't like something that I like? What? You should
right.
like flowers. You should like plants because flowers.
Yeah, force me to like something I'm not into. It's like I just think it's.
Like,
I think
bitch, I
it's
planted you a tree. I planted you a goddamn tree.
you should be happy about that.
Right.
Like,
It's
no,
evergreens and everything out back. I planted it for you. Shit, you should be happy with that. It's gonna be apples
yeah,
on that motherfucker in 3 months.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's
Wow.
That
a
is crazy. I
big
think
deal breaker.
that's weird. Like if you have something you like, I don't understand how you could just come. It's like, bro, I just met you 3 weeks ago. How can you just come in and just change everything?
Right.
So yeah, that is a little wild. That is a little wild. And you not liking flowers. I always think it's weird when women say that they deal with guys that they don't like buying flowers for their girl, and it's like, nigga, it's not about you though. It's what she like. So
Exactly.
it's like if she likes flowers, like what? I don't understand that. So
Why is that such a big issue? It's like
yeah,
y'all like what y'all
I thought
like.
that was
Why
yeah, I
can't
thought
we like what we like? I'm looking at some flowers right now, and they make me very happy to look at them. I hope he
yeah,
continues to do that.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's weird. But
Very.
yeah, I think I definitely think it's a deal breaker. Because yeah, it just sounds weird. Like what if you come into my life? What are you? Honestly, actually, I should say it depends on what we're talking about. I think it's specific to whatever the alteration they are trying to make in your life. Like what are you trying to change? Like what is it that maybe you can give me? Maybe you have a more efficient way of me doing something. Then cool, that's cool. I'm cool with that. But depends on really what we're talking about. Like you said, like an example of you just trying to break me out of something that I like. Like if you come in and you see my sneaker wall, you're like, oh, you should wear hard bottoms everywhere. It'd be like, okay, this is a wrap. Like what are you talking about? This is not the 60s. Like
Right.
I mean, some
no.
people have like routines. Like for instance, there are a lot of people that smoke weed all throughout the day, and they
Oh
need
yeah,
to.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot.
So maybe they're like, no, this how I get down. You gonna take me smoking breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snack, then or not. And I think that's
Yeah,
a common one.
yeah, something like I think that you got to know what you're getting into when right out the gate with stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
if you were dating somebody and they say, "Yeah, I'm very 420 friendly," then you know what you're signing up for. So if that's
yeah,
not your thing, then you got to like you should probably bail out of that right away because you're not gonna get anybody that regularly smokes weed to just stop smoking weed
yeah, no, yeah,
or to smoke less weed.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's a
I just
lifestyle
don't.
choice for sure.
Yeah, that's the lifestyle exactly. Like,
All right, next scenario. They're divorced with kids and say their children will always come first, even over a future spouse. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal.
I feel like that's regular. Not for me. Not for me. I'm not. I'm not. That's not for me. But um, I'm
What do you
saying
mean?
like, I feel like
Not for you.
meaning I wouldn't sign up for that.
So that's a deal breaker for you.
Yeah, well, the deal breaker part is like I said with the multiple kid thing. Like you're probably done after this, so it's like I wouldn't get
You
past
wouldn't
the.
be there anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I wouldn't even be. I was like, all right, cool. That's
You like you don't finish the sentence. Like I'm not
yeah,
like
we good.
you
It's
said a deal breaker before we got to the deal breaker.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so we didn't even get to
Yeah.
that. But when I say regular, meaning like, yeah, a parent putting their children first, yeah, that to me is regular. I don't expect you to drop your. Now it gets a little weird though. I will say it gets a little weird where some because I've dealt with uh, women that have kids or whatever, and like this one chick I know, her kids was old, like old enough. Like I mean, like they was teenagers, but like late teens, and like I'd be like, "Yo, let's kick it," and be like, "Well, I got my kids this weekend." I'm like, "That nigga is 16."
Yeah.
Oh, he's still a minor. What you mean? Let her be a
What?
mom. Stop being
Huh?
so. Let
You
let her
said
be a
what?
mom. That's crazy. 16
16?
is crazy. He's a minor. What are you
He
talking
can
about?
watch himself.
This joker's 20 or something. Like,
20 is
no,
crazy.
that's still a child in her house. Like, no, he takes the rest over
You
you.
can't go out because this 16-year-old needs you to watch him.
He might have been
That's
on the
kind of crazy.
spectrum.
Huh?
He might have been
He's
like on
not
the
on the spectrum.
spectrum.
You said he's on the
Um,
spectrum?
I don't
No,
know.
No,
no,
these
he's a
jokers,
perfectly
yeah, he might
fine
be
child.
sneaking somebody in the house. You never know. You never know that dynamic. That's a little interesting. Car,
I
what you
mean, listen, she did explain one scenario with one of the children. So I understood that for that particular kid. But it's like, look, man, this nigga is old enough to watch himself. He do not need you there to watch him, yo.
Oh my God. Says the person with no kids. Go ahead, Car.
But no, I think it was also because I was raised by my father, so he would go out if he wanted to go out. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say like, "Oh, I gotta be home because my kid is there" or whatever. Like,
Because he was
Okay.
young.
you said
Right,
what?
exactly. He
He
was
had
young.
you young. He was outside.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't
Y'all
alter.
raised each other.
He would tell me like, "Hey, I'm going out this weekend. Here's some money for food if you need it. You got my number
Right.
if
You
you."
probably cooked dinner and everything. He was self-sufficient.
Yeah, like he was. Yeah, I was good. I could take care of myself. So that's how maybe I'm looking at it from my own perspective. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
like even
think
my
so.
niece
Because
and nephew.
most parents are like hands on. Like he's still in her house, 16. Like that's a child. That's still a child. They still need
Yeah,
guidance. They
but
still need eyes on their ass. Like yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean, unless you live in a neighborhood where it gets a little crazy, I don't know, man. I could see myself like if yo, I'm going
16 year
out.
olds get crazy.
You said what?
16-year-olds get crazy. They got hormones at
Well, I
16
mean,
and
if
they
he's
in and out. So
now if your kid is sneaking,
yeah.
people in the house, that's a way different story.
You never know. If she want to be out in the streets with you, you know what that kid doing. All right.
Shoot. Oh no, I'm breaking niggas' necks. No way.
Cars, what say you,
And
sis?
for me, I think that would probably be a deal breaker because I feel like you don't value my position in your life. So if I'm coming into your life knowing that you have kids, and if you are somebody that sees me being with you in the foreseeable future, then I would feel like I'm not saying that you need to put your kids second, but I'm also saying like you need to kind of like put me up here as well so that I can help mold your kids to what they're supposed to be doing. Because it's just like when you're saying I put my kids first, and it's just like, okay, well, where do I fit in this dynamic? So I think if it was on some like dating stuff, I would just be like, yeah, no, I'm straight. I'm not going to deal with anybody like that. But And if you're a man coming to me saying that, it's just like, okay, well, you must want to be a single father for the rest of your days and do it on your own. So in that case, yeah, you put your kids first, baby, because that's just how you see things. You know what I mean? Like I long time ago, there was a guy and he said something kind of like similar, like, oh, I wouldn't, he said something like, I can't take you on like dates like that because the money that I spend on you, I should have, I could spend it on like my son or whatever. Baby, that was the last time. And then, I mean, every time I would see him out, he'd be like, why you don't want to give me a chance? I'm like, baby, you blew it. Like, you basically told me that you put your child first and that's fine. Like, but if you know that you don't want to live in this life alone, you want a companionship, you need to make room for me. And if you trust me to raise your kids, then you honestly need to make space. So deal breaker. Bye. Have a
I
good
think
one.
about it on the flip side of it too, though. Like, if I had a child with someone and we didn't work out and they move on and they're out here dating and I need something and I see you out here spending lavishly on somebody else and our children need something, I'm gonna feel away too. So I don't know. Like I see it both ways. Like, and if I was dating someone who had kids, I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that are acceptable where there are moments where the kids do need to be priority, especially depending on how old they are. And then there are still situations where if you need to have my back, that you should, if I'm like your person, if we're going to build a life together, not some fly by night that you just hanging out with, or you know what I mean, then yeah, like I should take priority. But I don't know. I think that's hard to say like across the board. But honestly, Gar, I don't know if I would be. I mean, I get it for your situation because you don't want somebody who, who's not going to put you first. But I kind of get it. Like if you want to spend money on his kids and it takes away from that, I kind of see it from that part, like being the other parent. So I
But it's
see it
like
from
if that's the case, then don't be out here trying to date nobody. Then, like, if
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
know
say.
that you're like,
you said it.
what did you think this was? So it's just like I don't see how you want to date me, but you don't want to take me on no dates. That don't add up.
Okay, yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta go on dates. Now that's correct. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
exactly.
Yeah,
That was a
right.
really bad
Hold on.
excuse, but I'm just saying, like, I don't mind somebody, being a father to your children. I want you to be a father, but I also want you to respect me enough to bring me in and trust me that I'm gonna make a good decision. And I feel like in order for somebody to have that kind of trust, you need to be able to kind of like put me first and or put me on I would say in a sense, the same level. I wouldn't say the
Yeah.
same level. I'm like right underneath you in a
Okay.
sense,
Yeah.
to raise your children as well. Like I would want to play a factor in your kid's life. So if you're gonna put them first, then baby, you put me last. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
That's true. All right. So let's see. Last scenario. So they've only dated people significantly younger than them for the past 10 years. Red flag, deal breaker, or no big deal. Well, this sounds like your lane, right?
You said what?
I said, this sounds like your lane. You date younger?
Nah, I'm yo, he crazy. I mean the range, yeah, the range is
The range is,
significant.
yeah. What's the range?
There's
Like
a
a Shannon
range.
Sharp situation.
No, definitely not.
Oh, no. Oh,
No,
God.
absolutely not.
That's too far.
No,
Yikes.
yeah, I'm way too young for that part.
Belichick situation.
So what?
That's disgusting.
That
That
is
is
That's crazy. Belichick's situation is crazy. And you know
wow.
what's crazy? Not to get off topic, but that particular situation, I really want to know how they met now. Did you see the interview?
I think she was a lady of the evening.
That's what I thought. Okay, I was thinking that too because
Oh,
That's
shoot.
what Shannon
That's
kept about it.
yeah, because she shut it down when he was like, "Yo, how did y'all meet?" And she was like, "We're not going to talk about that."
Ooh.
I'm just like,
Because she was
"Yeah,
handpicked.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and that was just she was his favorite. Yeah.
yeah." Because she
Like, girl, you
and she got an $8 million real estate empire now. All of a sudden,
of course.
like,
He was
yo,
she knew the assignment. If I'm gonna
oh
go
yeah.
that age, baby.
I mean, you better have something to show for it.
A lady of the evening is hilarious.
A
Um,
lady of the
Oh, look.
but the significantly part sounded crazy because that does sound like a Shannon Sharp situation when you said it. Um,
Mhm.
but you said if the person dates 10 years younger than them, wait, you didn't say a number. You just
Dates
said
significantly younger than them for the
for the last
past 10
10
years.
years. Okay,
So
that's what you said.
that's their dating history. That's basically them. You do something for
It's
10
like
years,
whatever they see you.
that's your life. That's your
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, I'm again, this is another scenario where I wouldn't get to the deal breaker part because I don't date, I wouldn't date women older than me. Really. Not really.
Why?
Mhm.
Why? Again, I mean the kid thing. I don't know where you
Everybody
at.
ain't got kids.
You said what?
Everybody ain't got kids
Scoop,
No,
how old are you?
I'm saying I want kids.
our age.
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying, yeah, like older would be the next bracket. So
What's the next bracket?
you trying to get me this? You doing numbers? We
I
in the
am.
same. We're in the same pool, swimming pool. I'll say that.
So you wouldn't date a woman that's like 43.
40 anything.
What?
Right. I'm like,
You saying what? No, I'm dead serious.
because of what now? What's the
Come
reason?
on, man. Hey, Tosh, you gotta cut all of this out.
It's
It's
live,
live,
brother.
baby. It's
No.
live, baby.
That's crazy.
You said
What?
it's live.
It's live.
No, I'm saying I want kids. I do want kids.
So you think that no one in their 40s can have kids?
No, I don't think that. I'm just saying the likelihood. I don't know if
He ain't trying to
where
find
you at
out
with
because
that.
he ain't even open the door. He ain't gonna entertain it. He like, nah, you full. Nope. Don't even start with a full when you say your age. He just checked
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
When he get the whole age out of the mouth,
Oh,
he checked out.
that's unfortunate.
Very.
I don't mean it. See, that sounds it probably sounds bad.
It
I'm
sounds
not.
like it's
Yeah, I
If
just
I,
heard that you said what you
you said what?
said. I guess I'm
You
just
said
trying to
what?
see what's the difference between somebody in their 30s and then somebody in their like maybe she's 30s with kids. You would do 30s with kids?
Again, it's just how many are we talking? One child, yeah, one kid.
So what if she
Because
was
again,
40 with no kids?
I want kids. I don't know if she wants kids.
So you think
a
people in their
40-year-old
women in their
wants. What are you
She if
talking
she
about?
wants kids, maybe then maybe. But
nah, you ain't say it with your
Right.
chest,
He's
baby.
just saying words
yeah,
now. He don't mean it.
Because I'm just like,
He's saying words he don't mean.
mm,
Good to know.
gosh, you
Good to
got me on the
know.
wrong episode.
I'm gonna take you out the hot seat. I'm gonna take you out the hot seat. I promise. All
You
right.
got me on the wrong episode.
All right. So now we have come to the point of the show where we turn the table. So since I've
Wait,
been
she
grilling
didn't
y'all,
answer. She got to answer. Kari got to answer.
what was it?
what was it, what are you talking about?
I don't think she gave her answer.
Oh, about answering
Yes, she did not. I
the
was on
young.
the hot seat and then y'all moved. No way.
Okay, let me finish this spiel and then we'll jump back into it. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm opening up
Oh,
the
now you're trying
question.
to
So if you
get
are
down on
watching
me.
YouTube live and you want to ask a question, you can put it in the YouTube chat and we will answer your questions. But as for you guys, the table is open. So you guys can ask whatever you want to ask and we'll chit and chat about it. So Kari, what was yours? The guy that is dating significantly younger for the past 10 years.
And then if he decided to date me, then I think he would be making a great choice because I think that a lot of times a man's going to date a woman that's younger because he feels like she is, has less impression. She's less impressionable. She hasn't had a lot of trauma. I would
Yeah.
say that. And then they get with the girl, and then they're going to put her through all of the trauma, right?
Okay. They're
And
gonna put
then
it right up.
yeah, and then once she kind of like grows up and it's just like, oh, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and then she's going to be out, right? Versus a woman who's probably went through a few things and maybe she's went to therapy and things of that nature. She's a little bit more mature in how she approaches things, her communication style and things of that nature. I think just society has men thinking that, oh, I'm gonna just go younger because if I go younger, she hasn't had a lot of bodies. Not true. She's it's not a lot of trauma. Not true. You kind of have to look at everything that happened because she might have daddy issues. Something might have happened, in her younger years that may have affected her brain or her mind or something like that. But I think if he just chose, like, that's just all that he chose, like, I feel like that's kind of like predatory in a sense. But as long as he didn't come to me thinking that that's what it's going to be, I think that would just probably be a red flag, but it wouldn't necessarily be a deal breaker because I would feel like, you chose correctly this time.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting, like, what was your reasoning in doing so, and why is it only whenever someone has a preference and it's so specific, like you only date younger, or you only date white girls, or you only date black girls, like whatever it is, I wonder, like,
Now that should have been the question. If you only date white girls and then you think you want to come over, I would. That's the deal breaker.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think you should trust a scenario like that.
you don't think what?
Yeah.
I don't think you should trust a situation like that. Like,
Why?
I don't know. It feels weird. Like all of a sudden, like,
Ingenuous.
just like how you said, like I would be like, if you dated white men this whole time, and it's like, I feel like I don't know.
I mean, but that's what happens, like a lot of black women, for instance, or like date within their race, and then they get to the point where, well, this isn't working out. Try something different. What is it? What does it mean if you just get to a stage in your life and you feel like, I've looked at what I've done, it's not working out for me, so maybe let me try something different. Let me step out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come back?
I'm more so talking about like how Kari was Kari. I'm sorry. How that's it. Yeah. I'd say it correctly. Yeah, I'll look at that. That would kind of be like a red flag for her. I feel like if you do a guy that's all dated white girls and all of a sudden I don't know. The dudes that be dating white girls, the niggas that be dating white girls, wired funny. They always like, just like how you said, like their reasoning is always like weird.
Yeah, I will always want to understand somebody's reasoning, whatever it is, even if it's like you only date young girls. Like if you're 40 and you only date girls that are in their 20s, so you want someone that has no life experience or doesn't have your level of life experience for what? So you can mold them who you want them to be. Like what's the reason that you can't date someone on your level at your age? Skoob, what's the reason you can't date someone on your level?
Asking me.
Yeah. Now. Because I'm confused.
I didn't. So that's okay. Maybe this sounded wrong or whatever. I'm not saying I wouldn't meet someone and she's like, oh, she's 30, whatever, and I'm like,
nah, forget 30. She's 40. She's 40.
Oh well, someone older, like, yeah, nah. Hold up, you're going in and out. I can't really hear you.
I was saying, forget 30. What if she's in her early 40s? No kids. Great woman. She wants kids.
I don't know, man. She said she wants kids?
Yes. She wants children.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. I won't rule it out because, she could be a great person. She could be a great woman.
She'd be a great woman.
Question. So when you get to 41, 42, and you're still not married and you don't have any kids, and you meet someone who is 41, 42, 43, does not have kids, will like the same things that you would like, would you still not entertain them because of their age and still prefer someone that's younger?
I think, I would, but y'all, I feel like I got myself in this weird hole now. It's like I can't get out of it. I'm not saying like I wouldn't date someone if I'm 40 and dating somebody that's 40 or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying, like, we're talking about I'm thinking about like kids and all this other stuff. That may not be in your cards, or may not be something you want. So I'm thinking about that. If I happen to be 40 and I meet somebody that's 40 and you don't have any kids and she's great and all that other stuff, then cool. Then we could do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying like I'm thinking more so of the kid thing. The kid thing is always like at the top of my mind because I don't have them. I do want them.
Okay, because
That's
everyone
all
in
I'm
their
saying.
30s want to have children.
No, I'm not. But I'm also not saying that's the case either, though. I'm just obviously if they want children, that is the main factor. So I'm just saying it doesn't like that could be 40, that could be 35, whatever. So that is I understand that women under 40, not all of them want kids. I do understand that. I'm just saying specifically in this particular scenario that you're asking me, children are a factor for me. So if
You have an
she
age
happens
cutoff for kids?
me,
Yeah. Is there an age that you feel like, okay, I'm at this age, and if I don't have them by now, then maybe I'm
nah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather.
Just go shoot the
Um,
club up with a 30-year-old.
right. Um,
Go have your kids.
nah, y'all are crazy. But no, I just for me, it's just I just think about that. Like again, like I said, just it's similar to the conversation around like meeting a woman that has two kids. The likelihood that she wants to continue down that path or start over, I should say, is probably slim and none. So I just think about that. Like, are you at like if I meet you say you're Leo, so I'll meet you on your birthday, and you're like, I'm done. Like I don't want you don't want kids anymore. And it's like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Like I don't. I definitely want to make sure that that's part of your life plan.
Right. Yeah, because if I meet an older man and he says he doesn't want children, I'm like, no. If I meet a younger man and he says he doesn't want kids,
Right. Exactly.
no.
And then it's
So I
also
think your base should just be age isn't necessarily the biggest factor. It's whether or not they do or do not
yeah,
want.
yeah, yes.
That's your safe answer.
That is correct. That's correct.
You're welcome. That's free.
Thank you. It was because I have no idea how like that was all coming off. It probably sounded crazy. So yeah, I'm happy that yes, that is where I'm at.
And if you must know that women are now having more children now in their 40s than they were in their 30s.
I did see that. Yes, I did see that.
Okay.
I did see that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that's cool. You wait until you get you're settled and you're ready for that and all that other stuff. I think that's cool. And also, just to be clear, like I meet anyone and we click and it works, then cool. Like I wouldn't just be like, oh nah, because of whatever. Because you click, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because these chicks are probably paper chasing, getting
their yeah. But you also one thing that I think that comes along the way, because I think we were talking about just like things that change for you or whatever. And I think the chemistry you have with somebody is really important. You definitely don't have the same level of chemistry with every single person you meet. And that is a very underrated,
facts. All right, y'all got any questions?
Yeah. She looks like she does. like Skoob, you sit on this chair for a second.
Like it's gonna be a doozy too.
I know, like it looks. That's what I'm saying. We could definitely talk. It's cool. It's just I'm happy we were able to get through that particular thing.
Because I helped you. You're welcome.
You did help me. You did help me. Because I'm like I didn't want it to come.
I don't say that to nobody else no more.
Please don't.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't want it to come off the way that it was coming off because
It's coming off real wild, real funky.
My bad, man. I'm sorry. And I don't know
Where is Drew when you need him? You needed some backup.
I did. Oh my god,
You just left me hanging.
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna have a word with Drew when I see him next.
A little chit chat.
Yeah, man, because y'all had me in the hot, and y'all both looking to at the screen like
I mean, because we
I'm
are
just
both women
and I'm
who
just
are
saying,
on the cusp of 40 and like very, are open to Kari's
and
absolutely said
yes,
like she wants to be a mother. That's, I'm
mhm.
open to it. So like, that kind of hits close to home a little bit. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
Because
got
And
it.
like
I
full
got it.
disclosure, I froze my eggs in my 30s. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, see, and that see, that's amazing. I think that's amazing. I think that's
mhm.
amazing. So yeah, no, that like hearing that, yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's
It means she's smart. She's thinking. That's her
absolutely,
insurance policy.
yeah.
But she could still have kids in her 40s.
No, I know. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that what it was. I'm
we
just
know,
saying
Skoob,
like
we know.
We
the
got it.
interest in
It's
having
cool.
children the
We know.
interest in having children gotta be there. That's all.
Hard
Yeah.
stop
And
right
that's
there.
whether she's
Yeah, I gotta be on the same
yeah,
page.
yeah, whether she's 40, yeah, whether she's 40, 35, whatever. Like
Mm,
Understood.
if they
That
don't
makes
want kids, then I know that there's not going to be a long term situation here.
correct.
that makes sense.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Woo.
Or anything you want to talk about?
Um, let's see here.
I got a question for y'all too.
Okay, go ahead, run it.
When okay, when do y'all get off of dating apps? Or and when you're just like like you have your birthday's approaching, is that the cutoff and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing it after this. Do you give it
Like in
like
life, because you turned 40, you can't be on a dating app? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm asking, is there a limit for y'all to be on dating apps?
An age limit or a
Yeah,
point where you meet someone and you
yeah,
get off the
yeah,
app?
an age limit. Do you feel like there's a thing or a stigma, I guess, with somebody, being on a dating app after a certain age or anything like that?
I'm not gonna lie. When I was on the apps, I did look at men that were of a particular age. I looked at them a little strange sometimes, like
Mhm.
because that's kind of like now I'm like, why you on a dating app? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you and Shirley didn't work out? I want to know.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
I was a little bit judgy. So therefore, so I wouldn't judge, I just pulled the age down. So I was just like, I don't let me not look at men past that. But I don't think it's
right.
typically an age per se that you
Got
should.
you.
I mean, you do what's good
That's
for you.
why. Yeah, but see, Tasha, that's why I asked her because like the same way she said it, like she's looking at a certain person, like, why are you still here? Like,
I mean, if I'm on the app, then I can't be looking at anybody else with that because so much shit happens in life. But I don't know. I mean, I do feel like with age, the app has gotten worse. Like it's not gotten better. Like the options have only gotten worse. Unless you're open to dating down. I feel like for women, if you're open to dating down a few years, you might have a better selection. But if we talking about dating your exact age and even a few years above, like, mm,
I was
yeah.
looking through my friend's profile yesterday. She was just showing me, you know, what the quality was. And I was just like, "Ooh, girl, like it's ghetto out there."
yeah, I had a friend. She was like women. They just like Tasha knows. We had game nights and stuff like that, and we'd be at, women just talk about their options on apps and stuff like that. And I never knew how bad it was or whatever until same situation where a woman shows me. She's like, "Well, this is what I got to deal with, nigga. Look, da 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 da." And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Games.
They be looking a mess. Like it's like if I'm coming on here and I'm presenting myself in such a way, I'm dressed nice. You're like, oh, you have a beautiful smile. I love the way you dress. I like this, that, and the third. And you got on like your old uncle suit, and you got messed up teeth, and you got bad. It's like you don't even take care of yourself. It's almost like you didn't present your best self on this
yeah,
app, but you're coming to talk to me. It's like, so now I'm like, ugh, let me get off here because if you are trying to holler at me on here, or you think that we like, no, baby, I don't want. I
right,
need, I just need the caliber, like the Ben to kind of step it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, go to the dentist, find out who your dentist is. You know what I'm saying? Twice a year. We ain't asking for more than that. You know, if you need a little deep cleaning, you might need to go 3, 4 times. but at least twice a year is all we saying. Get that together. Get a tailored suit, right? Get
Yes,
that. Stop
absolutely.
trying to be too trendy. Like I feel like there should
No.
be rules to the dating. Forget pop the balloon. It need to
Oh,
be something
I
with the
thought
date.
I thought you were talking about trendy with a suit. I'm like, no, there's no exception on that.
I
The
do wish
bag.
guys would date age appropriate though. Like I do feel like there comes a time where if we're turning 40, maybe you should, step up your closet a little bit to reflect that. Like I don't know.
And
I
stop
don't
taking pictures of your print.
Oh,
You said
Yeah,
stop taking pictures of your friend.
your
right.
print. Like, he'll
Ha.
be in the gym or
Yikes.
something like that, and that's you be like, wow, okay, just
Yeah.
Yeah,
let it all out. Okay, cool.
that's funny.
It's ghetto. No thanks.
I feel
What
like in major cities like New York, what I found like in major cities like New York and Atlanta, if you're a black man and you're on the app today, like didn't post COVID, when that wave ended, I feel like I've learned why they're on the app. And it's not like you don't need to be. Like if you're in Atlanta, my first question is why are you on the app? You can go to a restaurant, meet anybody. You can go anywhere in Atlanta and meet a fine, intelligent black woman anywhere. You know what I mean? So it always baffles me. With that and up here, I'm coming to learn the same thing. I used to feel like they were having the same issues that I was having. Like it's just hard to meet people after COVID because a lot of the places that existed don't exist anymore. But no, it's just easy pickings because you all right in one place and they can just and get it popping. So yeah, I've
let me
learned
ask
some things.
y'all. Let me ask y'all this: Would you, um, have you like, or would you have you opened up, or would you consider dating in a different like medium? For example, going to like speed dating, or be on a show like Pop the Balloon, or something like that. Like anything, any other way, any unconventional way that you haven't tried dating. If you're still
People
single
have
at a
tried to get me to be on those dating shows. I just feel like I'm single. I'm not desperate. It's not hard for me to get a man. Like I go to my lobby, I go to the gym, I go outside, I go, to dinner, anything. It's not difficult. But I just think quality, I think that's where I'm running into the issue. So it's like same thing on the app. It's a bunch of men, yeah. But is it quality men? You know what I mean? Are there intentional men? You know,
right,
that's no.
right.
But I feel like
Nah,
those shows, if you're going on those shows, the difference is everything's about clout now. Everything's about attention. Like people aren't going on these shows because they want to find love. Like they're going to these shows because they want to get attention. They want to get followers. They want to be influencers. Like nothing is like genuine and real. And I think that's my issue with all that kind of stuff. Like, sure, it's fun to watch. It's entertainment, but what are real relationships like marriages? Like are real things coming out of these shows? Or is it
I
just
did see her post today that one person from her show, they were married and they just had a baby. And I was like, oh, that's sweet.
sis be on live every day, so she only got one success story. So her
Day
average
in, day out.
is not good. It's not good.
that's
I'm
crazy.
gonna need, I'm gonna need more than one in a million. She be on that thing every day.
Nah,
It
my friend that was on the what's the name? She asked me. She's like, you should sign up and be on the show. I was like, absolutely not. On Pop the Balloon, no way, no way, no.
Mm-mm.
Because as soon as I come out and y'all pop the balloon, I'm burning the building down. Because it's crazy. Like you see people walk out, and all of a sudden it's everybody.
Media pop.
Yeah, no, y'all not gonna run down a bunch of pops on me. Not
Because I know I'd be like, I know you fucking lying.
exactly. I'm not right. Y'all got me
People
fucked
gotta have
up.
some real self confidence to sign up for that. Like real.
Yeah,
confidence
that's
to
what I'm
put yourself
saying.
out
Like
there
y'all
like
are both attractive women. Y'all come out the corner and a bunch of niggas pop. You like, oh no, y'all got me fucked up.
Okay, because I know you see the material.
Exactly. Like you pop. Who are you popping the balloon on? Like Yeah, like
Well, let
what
me
you
walk
mean?
out and come back in.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Try
Maybe
this again.
maybe you ain't see me correctly. You feel me? Like
did not.
yeah, exactly. Like that's
Could
what it's like. No, I'm burning this whole building down. Like that's it. There was there was one woman that came on there and her voice was a little deep. I don't know if y'all seen
I
it.
Oh,
remember
I
that
saw
one.
that one.
Yeah, she was her name was
I ain't
Poochie.
say
I remember
She
that.
everybody.
seems like such a nice woman. That was the thing.
Yeah, she was really nice, but she's like, oh, she's like, tell me your name. She's like, Jay. And every nigga popped in joy.
I did the same. That was like
Oh my god, every
and the one
single
that
dude popped
didn't.
blue.
I was
Huh?
looking at him like, he might be,
Yes. It was man, it's crazy. Oh, there was one, and then the one girl was like, she's popped his balloon, and she's like, yeah, I think you might be a little gay. I'm like, oh,
Ooh,
that's
this.
crazy.
Oh,
call a
I'm
spade a
like,
spade.
that's crazy. The dudes in the line started. They were trying to hold in their laugh, but yeah, it's you really don't know what you get on there. And the other thing
Yeah.
too is I've seen people in there like they get real like butt hurt if somebody says that they're not their type or something like that. Then they start kind of like shooting back at the other person. It's like, yeah, nah, this wasn't for
I
me.
think it's how people are saying that they're not their type. I think that's the problem because some of the people are outrageous with it. Like,
yeah.
Mhm.
it's like, dang, girl, like that was pretty harsh. Or, because I think a girl didn't like a dude because he said he read books. Like, what?
Yeah, that was weird. Like, yeah, I heard that before too.
That's
The
weird.
the one thing that I thought was interesting, this one dude that came out and a bunch of girls popped the balloon,
Because
and
he was
then once
flashy.
he started speaking, no, not even he didn't have like gold like jewelry on or nothing like that. He was just dressed, I guess maybe like casually. But then when he started speaking, he was like really intelligent, very successful, all types of stuff. And all them women had popped their balloons pretty much. And it was just like, damn, you didn't even hear him out. And now everything he was saying, even like his values and all that stuff, I'm like, this sounds literally what all of the women are looking for.
Mhm.
You can't judge a
So
book
I
by its
just think
cover
that show is
sometimes.
just very yeah, like people will be quick to,
But at the
what
same
about a
time,
show like Love is Blind? Could y'all you said
my
what?
love,
Have
I
a curfew
always
thing
say
going?
when people try to get me
Wait, what
to
you
like
say? Say it
apply to
again?
that show, hmm?
Which one? Love is Blind?
Yes, Love is Blind because it done came to Atlanta twice, and trust me, I done got the little emails, and I'm like, no, because my love got 20/20 vision, so I'm not doing that.
Exactly. Yep. See,
But
I think
I
that's a
think
fire sign thing.
again, like if it was like how it was when it first started out, and like these people didn't know they were going to get all these followers and all this attention from it. You know what I mean? I think that people saw that, and it's attracting the wrong kind of people. So it's the same thing. It's going to be a hard pass if I feel like you're just out here getting clout and you're looking for attention and you're looking for followers and things like that. You're not really looking for love. Like maybe it's a byproduct. Maybe you find it, but it doesn't seem like it's like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I couldn't do Love is Blind because just like you said, I come out them pods and then the gate open and it's not hitting for
Pop
nothing. I'm
that
like,
balloon.
yeah, I'm be like, hey man, I can't do it. There's
But
there
what
was
if she do
one
that to you? Like, what
you said
happens if
what?
that's on the reverse? Like, what happens if that's on the reverse? And she like, no, you ain't what I thought you was gonna be.
You said if that happened to me?
Yeah, you saying like if she came out and you was just like, yeah, nah.
No,
What
no,
if she?
I can only speak. Listen, I could only speak for myself. Like Kari said, you see the material. Like I'm gonna come out there like you know what I'm saying. My suit game is on whatever. Like I'm gonna be my best self at that point. So nah, I don't know. Like again, that's. I think we all have a bit of ego in that regard. If you're like nah, like.
And at the end of the day,
But
I feel like you are supposed to marry this person. So if I'm not,
right,
I might be attracted to your mind, and I understand that that's really the most part. That's the part that should matter the most. But if
right.
I'm not attracted to you, and I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? He got like one lazy eye. Like I don't want my child coming out looking like that. So it's just like
Yeah,
That was
I'm
a
not with it. So it's just like I need to see everything. You know what I'm saying? I always say looks will get you to the door, but your personality will get you inside the door. So I'm the reverse. So it's just kind of like,
Yeah,
yeah, I might have really, liked your personality, but then when I saw what you look like, I'm like, I
right,
can't see, I can't see myself. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, oh
right.
boy,
How are you supposed to procreate with this individual if you're not
if
attracted
ain't no juices
to
flown.
it? Right. Like I try to tell my pops that because he used to say you're shallow. And I'm like, bro, it's not shallow. You have to be physically I have to be physically attracted to someone first. But then, like you said, the mind and the personality, all of the stuff that matters more. Because you could be like beautiful and have the worst like personality. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I'm sure you guys would say the same thing about guys. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't be with someone even if they're physically attractive if they just had a terrible personality. Like, you know what I mean? You're cursing at the waiter, you're doing all this. Like, no, like, come on, man. But like, I have to be attracted to the person. I don't understand how you're supposed to get anywhere with them physically if you're not attracted to them in that way too.
So y'all don't think that attraction can grow?
I've heard that, but not for me.
I mean, it doesn't sound like you're ever gonna give it a chance. It don't sound like if
Yeah,
you exactly a 10 at the door, you ain't trying to
well,
find.
no, don't get it messed up. Don't got to be a 10. Don't get it messed up. I just have to be attracted to them. That's all. I wouldn't say 10, but I'm not because nobody's
But
perfect.
what if you're attracted to their personality? Y'all get along. It's
Yeah,
great.
if I'm not physically attracted to them, then we'll be great friends. That's it.
Like you gotta sift, you gotta show her, you gotta show your friends like, oh, let me show you, you know what I'm saying, this picture. Like
Correct. There you go.
no.
There you go.
I don't want to try to find a cute picture of baby. Like it's
Right. Right. You gotta go. You're like you scrolling down the page. It's like let me get and then you do a screenshot so they'll go on the page, start looking around and all that.
you
Like,
gotta
look,
hide
I sent you
things.
the picture. Right. I sent you the picture I wanted you to see. That's it.
I
Yeah,
think
I don't
that's
want to be
something we
shamed
talk
to
about
go out and
settling
put
on. I think
Would
that's
y'all
something that we talked
say?
about, like settling on, and it's just like I think that's something that I've settled on, like because if everything else is clicking, and you're not my normal type or someone that I'm like absolutely 1000% just like want to rip your clothes off attracted to, I would still entertain it to see if it can grow because sometimes people's personalities have been so like that it has grown and then they became fine to me. I don't know how that shit works, but it has worked. It's happened to me like twice. So I don't know. Like, I don't know, maybe.
You're so sweet. That's why you my dog. You know
Yeah.
what? We're
Yeah.
gonna
That was
talk
very.
offline.
Yeah. That was very sweet of you. Very nice.
I
Sweet.
think I got somebody for you, girl.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Oh god.
Can't do it.
Lord. Y'all funny. Y'all like, nah, if you ain't
Listen,
big,
this is
you ain't
this is
even about
why.
close.
I can't even play like that. Not right now. No. Maybe
Yeah.
in my
Maybe
20s.
before.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
30s possibility, but right now, baby,
Crunch
nah.
time.
It ain't even crunch time. It's just my time, and I ain't trying to waste it. So I'm just
Right.
like,
I
no.
Right.
heard.
You
I
like,
heard.
nah, man, I'll go back I'll go back to the streets one more time.
Not the
And it's like,
streets.
if I don't have to, then why should I? I don't have to. I
Right.
got options if I want to use them.
That's right. See, that's what I'm saying. This is again, like if you got your stuff together, you are attractive, you keep yourself up, you're always gonna have options somewhere. You don't have to just,
I'm just selective, very selective.
you go. Yeah. Unless y'all fall off a cliff, like you just, you wake up and it's over. That's different. But y'all, if you're good, like out here in the world, then do your thing.
All right. I think we've come to that time. Let's go ahead and close this thing on out. All right.
That was
So
fun as always.
it was. I appreciate y'all being here. I wish Drew could have been here to support you,
I wish
Skoob.
you could have been here too.
You needed the brother a little bit. You needed him just a little bit.
Oh man, I
next
think this was me being a great friend because I'm like, as soon as you said Drew not gonna be there, I'm like, oh man.
That's why I didn't tell you beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you didn't tell me
Like,
beforehand.
surprise.
Yeah, you didn't tell me beforehand because I was
But
definitely like, I need to find somebody.
next time. But that
Hit me
does
up.
it for this episode. We'll be back next week with a new topic, and Drew Comments will be here. In the meantime, don't forget to download the Secrets of the Office Effects app, subscribe to our podcast, and follow us here on YouTube for live updates. Next time, bye.